Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Chanel. So I didn't do Leo season readings because I felt like, first of all, I only do these whenever they feel right. So there's that. But also I felt like the last reading that I did kind of carried over into Leo season, and Leo season was intended to help us kind of face those things straight on. So now that we are getting into Virgo season, this is going to be your general reading for Virgo season. This reading is for Scorpios. And tuning into your energy, I pulled a couple cards for you already. Tuning into your energy, it felt like there's a major rebirth that's going to be occurring. I do think that you will be able to notice it in the sense that you won't feel the heaviness of what you didn't realize that you have been carrying probably for several years now. And I say that because the very first card that came out for you was actually the Death card. And while this card scares a lot of people, I don't think it's a scary card at all. The Death card to me feels like coming out of a dark place rather than heading into one, depending on the way that it comes out here. And with this card specifically, I felt like just kind of holding it, there's a lot that is maybe literally weighing on your chest. You might notice maybe what is it called? I think they're called heart palpitations, I think they're called, or maybe little bouts of anxiety that you don't realize is anxiety, maybe that heart racing when you drink coffee or an energy drink or something like that. That's actually been your energetic and your emotional body trying to purge some of that weight that it's been holding on to for a little bit. And also it almost feels like Virgo season is going to allow you to not necessarily disconnect from this old emotional baggage, but it's going to allow you to take the backpack off. Take it off, put it down, get rid of it. And I say that because it feels almost like if literal knives are kind of being pulled out of you, just because it almost feels like when you take out, way different reference, but when you take out a splinter and you're like, oh shit, it kind of hurts when it gets pulled out, but then afterwards, even though there might still be a little pain there, it feels better obviously because there's nothing stabbing you anymore. It feels like that for you, for the heart space, for your aura overall, so that feels really good. And then also with this white rose, this is symbolic of purification, and I think that with this deep heart-centered transformation, you will feel purified, you will feel refreshed, renewed, you can actually hold space for something new or create space for something new, which is really, really beautiful. And then the sky, the sun or the moon, and this river in the back are all red. So I do feel like with you allowing yourself to kind of purge some of this baggage that you might have been carrying, or some of this just hurt. It could be hurt, it could be frustrations, it could be maybe the feeling of loss, grief, an actual person, whatever that may be for you, responsibilities even. As you purge that, that's just going to literally just, it's almost like it recycles. This is a really weird analogy or metaphor, whatever. It almost feels like as it purges through you, that energy kind of recycles back and it transmutes into something completely different, completely different. So it feels like a major shift for you as far as the heart goes. So that's really pretty. And then also the next card was the Ace of Cups, which I was like, hell yeah, after the Death card, that is good. So this Ace of Cups card, I feel like you, if you are not already experiencing this, you will be. I think that you may be connecting with someone who might inspire you, or I think that the connection might awaken you to some degree. And I say that because it almost feels like I actually never noticed this. I don't know if any other cards have that. I kind of want to check. It feels like this cup is almost shimmering, literally shimmering. And if you zoom in, I don't think that there's anything, but it almost feels like this water is flowing so beautifully that it's almost like when you look super close into the water and you see it literally sparkle. It feels like that. So it feels really good. And if this is not in regards to maybe connecting with someone. This could just be how you feel internally, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the opportunities that are available to you, about the changes that you can create, things like that. But overall, it feels damn good. Like, I feel like it's gonna be literally like a night and day, like possibly even coming out of something like the dark night of the soul, or even if you've just been experiencing some heaviness, anxiety, or insomnia, depression, things like that. And we experience those things in waves sometimes, but it feels like a major reset. And it's almost like whenever you do start to feel this, or whenever you start to experience this, to witness it or to notice it, you might get a little nervous. And I almost want to say, look back at any previous readings that I might have done. Maybe the last, I've only posted like 2 of these, so maybe look at both of them if you have the time. But I feel like I just got deja vu about something. I feel like in one of your past readings, I might have said something like, whenever we start to experience something good, we might get afraid of it, or we might question it and be like, I don't know, or just become a little skeptical. I feel like you might experience that. And I say that because it feels like, especially if this is in regards to your relationship, it feels like you've experienced a history, whether it be with one person or with several. You've experienced several circumstances of betrayal, and it could be betrayal of trust, betrayal of loyalty, whatever that might have been. Maybe just feeling betrayed around the heart in general, like if it was a friend, if you put years into a company and then it turns out that you get fired just for them to hire someone at a cheaper hourly pay or something like that. So it feels like some sort of betrayal was a pattern within your relationship. And so when we start to feel and experience these beautiful things, these gifts, these divine connections or divine opportunities, sometimes they make us a little bit anxious, and that anxiousness just comes from the newness of it, and also when we are so accustomed, because we do get used to certain patterns, certain endings, certain relationships. When we grow accustomed to what we have experienced thus far, when we start to be presented, or when we meet someone who presents us with something different, it can make you a little shaky. Like, it can make you a little nervous. We all go through that period, I want to say, when we first really start digging deep and healing that heart space. So I would say allow yourself to dive into your heart space rather than disconnect from it. Allow yourself to go through this heart space transformation, because this is not here for no reason. This is here because the universe is like, okay, it's your turn now. Like, you've been waiting for this. We've been helping you clear whatever this stuff has been. Now here's the good stuff. So trust that, and trust that when it comes into your reality, it is very much for you. But also trust your intuition, because despite any heaviness that you might have felt in the past, you've learned to recognize certain patterns, certain behaviors, certain communication styles even, and just maybe even like body language. Like, you've learned to recognize these things to an extent, to where you might meet someone face to face and you're like, this feels like a red flag, this feels like I can't trust you, this feels like this opportunity is just not for me. Your intuition is very, very well developed, and I think that the more you trust yourself, the more that you will develop your confidence also. So trust that. And then following the Ace of Cups, so we got the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups feels really good also. This feels like I'm not sure, I don't know if this is I can't fully tell if this is an energy that you will be embodying. It doesn't really feel like that, to be honest. It feels like this might be an energy around you. But the Queen of Cups is someone who carries a lot of wisdom, much like the High Priestess. She has this like inner knowing, and you can see that she's kind of like guided by the moon here, because there's a little moon amulet there that she's holding. She's holding a cup, but this cup, she's holding it very tightly to herself. So if this is someone around you, this is probably someone that you might already trust in, or someone that provides some type of safety for you. It could be a mother figure. Sometimes the Queen of Cups and the, what's the other one? the Empress. Those are sometimes, no, is it the Empress? I forgot. But the Queen of Cups, along with like a couple other cards, sometimes they're seen as like mother figures. So if you have someone like this already, trust them to help you see clearly whenever you start to feel any type of doubt or like insecurities or anything like that. But also, if this is someone who might be coming in for you, I do think that they are grounded even when there is a little bit of chaos in the background. I say that because while there's a lot of moving water back here, her back is like firm. She's like not wavering, versus like another card, what is it, the like Six of Swords maybe, where the water's unstable, and then like the people pictured in that card are like crouching, they're like scared, things like that. I feel like this is someone who can be very supportive for you, or who is very supportive for you. If it is a mother figure, you can trust her for advice. If it is you, I don't think it's you. This feels like somebody outside of you. So who knows? You might be connecting to someone who has that like very deep, nurturing energy, but also who honestly probably potentially has the same type of wounds, or maybe it's not necessarily like a distrust, but you both share like the need to create some type of safety for yourself before truly trusting someone, which is not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's just being self-aware and making sure that you take care of yourself. So trust whoever this person is. I think that they see very, very clearly. Like her eyes are super clear. She's carrying a lot of wisdom within her, and it's like she doesn't sway. So I like that. And then also the Eight of Wands. This one speaks, a lot of times people think of this as, or relate to this one as, communication. It probably is that, to be honest, but I will pull maybe another card or two, just because I think I pulled like 6 cards for Virgo. It's also their birthday season though, so that is very interesting. So the card that we got was the World. So this one followed that Six of Wands. So I do actually feel like this is probably communication, and whatever these deep conversations might be about, they are going to help you feel a lot more grounded and more stable, more at ease. It feels really good actually, because the way that these clouds are kind of moving through this, it feels like when I put the cards down, it almost feels like you might still carry some of this heaviness, and when these good things start to show up, or these people start to show up for you, opportunities, whatever this may be, the Ace of Cups is usually seen like as a divine, like divine intervention, divine gift, a gift from the universe, a gift from God, whoever you might believe in, or whichever one of those resonates best with you. But again, when we start to experience these things, we often doubt them, and it feels like when this shows up, you might start to feel a little uncomfortable. You might feel like your voice gets a little shaky, or like you're just like, the fuck, like you might be in shock, which is actually really funny. But when these things come in, I feel like you will be able to move through these clouds, and whatever those deep conversations that you might have, they're going to help these clouds like completely clear away, which is really good. I think that'll help you feel a little more stable, because you might question whether or not you can trust something. Hey, Scorpios, you have your walls up for a reason, as most of us do, but have those conversations. Don't be afraid to initiate them. Don't be afraid to really be vulnerable when you have them with maybe these people, or whoever that might be. That was again followed by the World card, and it felt good because you can see in the World card there's 0 clouds. Anytime I see some type of like nudity in one of the cards, it feels like a symbol of vulnerability, and I think that you are going to really allow yourself to feel really vulnerable. But I also think that this might be something that is probably shared, and I don't know if I've ever felt it that way, but if you can see, there are 2 different figures like within this card itself. Like there's a man, there's a woman, and then this purple like drapery whatever that is, it's wrapped around this entire thing, which is connected to this person. So you might feel a little bit more balanced as far as your like feminine and masculine energies go. But with you being vulnerable, I think you will like, I don't think you have to question yourself. I don't think you have to question whatever this opportunity may be. I think that if it feels like it is as deeply connected as you might start to feel, or as you might already feel, you can trust yourself to, one, take your time, but also to kind of step up or dive in whenever you're ready to. Because coming back to this like purple thing, it feels like your intuition is probably even heightened when you are connected or after these conversations. Some of the conversations that you might have might allow for some of those clouds to just kind of clear. When you have them there, it almost feels like refreshing, like, okay. And then that's when it kind of hits you like, oh, okay, whatever that means. So that feels damn good. If this does not have to do with another person romantically, it could again be in regards to family, because the Queen of Cups is usually more like mothering energy along those lines. But I do think overall, whether or not you are expecting it, these changes are going to happen. They are definitely going to benefit you, and they're going to be really good for you. So trust these things when they come in. Do not doubt it. Do not doubt yourself. Don't doubt your intuition. You've been through a lot, but like I said, those knives are kind of like being pulled out of you, and allowing yourself to get that like deep, like that deep breath. So that feels really good. I do also feel like you might be curious about whatever this is, especially if you are single, or maybe if you, honestly, I ain't even gonna say if you like separated from someone, because that's not the case. This is something completely new. So if you are wondering what or who this might be, you can schedule a reading at theholistichealer.org, not .com. And then I did change my Instagram name, YouTube, and my TikTok from Mountains by Melody Ann to the Psychotherapist. The Psychotherapist. So find me on there. Please feel free to share, like, subscribe, invite a friend so I can see you again.